Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to a quick little weekend entry for my channel. For those new, I like to make these videos about things that I enjoy and want to share, usually about film, but occasionally about other things. Just depends on what's going on. But before I continue, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and hitting that little bell icon there so you get notifications for when I put up new content, which is usually once or twice a week, though I am working on trying to get some more content up there. While you're here, feel free to check out my back catalog, stick around to the end of the video, and share both this video and channel around, as it really does help the channel out quite a bit. Now that that's out of the way, this latest entry is for The Black Phone, which was just hit wide release this weekend. It stars Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davies, and Ethan Hawke. The synopsis for this film: well, actually, I'm not going to say much about it, the synopsis of this film, because other to say that it's about a child killer and one of the abducted kids trying to break free and escape. See, when I saw that this was Blumhouse and it was a horror slash thriller and that Ethan Hawke was in it, and that was all that I needed. I didn't see a trailer, I didn't read a synopsis, didn't read anything about it. I figured, why bother? I already know, considering all those involved, I'm going to go and see it. But, if you have read a detailed synopsis or seen a trailer, I don't think it would actually spoil anything about it. But for some more info on this, so yes, it's a Blumhouse film directed by Scott Derrickson, director of such films as Doctor Strange, Sinister, and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It's adapted from a short story by Joe Hill, who brought us Nosferatu, the show, not the old one from the early 1900s, Horns, and Lock and Key, among some other works. And as for why I'm making a video of a newly released film, since I usually do older ones that I like to bring up, or ones that are on limited release that maybe people wouldn't have seen, because I'm sure with a lot of new stuff, there's so many other reviewers out there that are more established at this point that my stuff's going to get lost in those search results. I just want to make a video because I was simply blown away by this. It's not since I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once earlier this year had I left the theater being so kind of exhausted by the ride that film took me on. A film that kind of pulled me in after and had me so completely wrapped up in what they were presenting. So not only was this story of a, child killer interesting and just creepy as hell, but the performances were simply amazing, even to the point where there's a scene where a kid is being beaten with a leather strap by an adult, and the performance was so raw and just cut so deep, it was disturbing to watch. I honestly feel like for this kid to get so into character, so into that scene, I just completely believed that they were honestly terrified while they were filming that. And as a parent, to watch that scene, as well as a few others that stuck out within the film, it really hurt, and it stuck with me, and it's going to stick with me for a long time. That's how great some of these scenes were. Another thing about this film is that it's a standalone entry. I can watch a big blockbuster movie like Avengers Endgame or Obi-Wan, I could binge through a bunch of that, and WandaVision, and I can get really emotionally pulled into those, but there's a whole franchise before those entries that have already laid the groundwork where by the time you get to them, you're going to feel really pulled in. This being just a standard one-entry film with a modest runtime of only an hour and 42 minutes, to be able to so quickly get us introduced to several characters, their relationships, their personality traits, their history, and to have me connect through their performances, many of which from kids without as much experience or as much training, both in filming, just in life in general. It was just astounding to me that they were able to pull this one off. I was pulled in and completely invested in everything that they're presenting, just hands down. And the way that they paced everything, they paced it out perfectly. The story and the scenes kind of flip through between, a kidnapped kid trying to escape and what's happening on the outside, his family or the police trying to find out what's been happening with these kids. It got to this point where I was kind of edging closer and closer to the edge of my seat, actually taking that recliner from the theater and sitting upright like this, just looking to see where this movie was going to go. It was never boring. There was never a lull in it anywhere. No stretches that felt like, they were taking too long. No subplots that were distracting in any way that I found, at least. And I just felt like it was one of the most accessible and perfectly executed films I've seen in a very long time. Meaning films in general, not just horror ones or thrillers, But as for the horror and thriller aspect, yeah, we have some violence in this, but it's not over the top and out of control going for shock value. We have some blood in this, and again, nothing over the top or out of control that's kind of diminishing anything else from it. It gets scary mainly due to the suspense and kind of imagining and expecting the worst, for this kid. But and it also doesn't have like endless jump scares that a lot of horror films try to do now, thinking if they make you jump with a loud sound and like a cat running across the screen or something, that somehow that's scary. It just desensitizes the audience for a while. It didn't do any of that kind of stuff. Everything, any little jump scare, any blood, any violence, everything was perfectly balanced and made sense for what was happening in the story. So, with all that balance and everything that I really loved about it, I just cannot recommend this movie more. If I was still doing actual ratings instead of just making videos for one that I like to recommend, I would definitely give this one an A+, give it an 11 out of 10, just because it really took me by surprise, However, now that I've said that, I realize I may be putting this on too high of a pedestal, so high that you'll never even see it. But just know that I loved it. I feel everyone should go out to the theater and check this one out. Go to the theater, spend some money at the theater going directly to this movie. Buy some concession while you're there. Support the theaters. Let them know we like seeing things on giant screens that are bigger than our homes. But, it's just amazing. You're going to see a very interesting film with the little kid from Explorers all grown up. Anyways, that's it for this quick review for the Black Phone from 2022. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video, and be sure to follow all those YouTube things that I mentioned at the beginning. And I will see you in the next one.